Today, Jill is going to try to change oil in her car for the very first time.
In my life.
I'm Sean.
I'm Jill.
Good luck.
I'll be fine.
I wasn't talking to you. So yes, Jill has never changed oil before, so this will be fun.
For who? You?
Probably not for me. I'm the one trying to tell you what to do.
I usually had somebody do it, like Jiffy Lube or some crap like that, or somebody else would offer to change it for me. So I never had the opportunity to learn.
Yeah, so today she's gonna learn. It's not hard. Now, on top of this, she's gonna change the transmission fluid in a future video. She's gonna change the transmission cooler in the future video. Probably the differential fluid in a different video. And this video, along with the oil, she's gonna change the fuel filter.
Yay.
Joy. Now she knows what I feel like coming home from work after working on engines all day.
But they're usually out of the vehicle that they go in.
They still have tons of fluid in them. You have no idea.
But it's probably easier to get to the parts.
You haven't worked on jet engines, have you?
I've never been around a jet engine.
Anyways, we got some work to do. We already got this jacked up. We do need to let it run for a little bit. That way heat up the oil, get everything a little bit warm, and then we will go ahead and come back and show you exactly what we're doing, and she'll be doing all of it. Unless she needs help. Mind you, I'm not gonna let her hurt herself or anything like that. There is certain parts in this where I'm kind of weary about her doing because I don't want her to be injured. So I'll probably do those, at least a small portion of them.
And you're probably wondering why the car looks a little bit higher. Because it is.
Because we're putting on jacks for the getting underneath. On a side note, this is probably how high the thing is going to be lifted when we get the suspension and wheels on it. So,
what do you guys think?
Lifted Mustang?
I mean, it comes right here at the fender.
So, stay tuned for that. That'll be
And I'm 5'10".
Anyways, we'll bring you back when we get the car ready. Okay, so we had it running. We opened the door a little bit. We'll leave it open for just a little bit. Then once the fumes go out and it clears out a little bit, we'll shut it and we'll start working. But, so one thing I've noticed when being under here is there's a lot of wetness coming down from this. And when I try to put a clamp on it to be able to undo it, it was super loose. Like this right here, let me see if I can do it. This right here, it was like this, where I literally was moving it this way. It's super loose. I don't know, from what I see, the wetness, that's like, let me see if I can get a picture in there. Like right there behind it is all coming from that. And that is completely wet too. Now, we do have to get the drain plug. I put a piece of tape on there, as you can tell, right there. So that way Jill can see it. And then of course she can reach that from the side. We'll drain it, we'll pull this off. We do have a giant pan and we have a piece right there, yeah, drain pan. But we'll be right back. Okay, so we have it. We ran it for a little bit, got the oil heated up for it. We're gonna go ahead and drain it. Sorry about the noise, he's chewing on his chew toy back there. She is in her coveralls and the light, sorry about the light. She's ready to go. So the funny thing is, the gloves are so big on her, we had to tape them because they literally are just like falling off of her hands. So that's why they're taped. We do have some rags. Don't put them in there yet.
Yeah.
But when we drain the oil, we'll kind of show you how dark it is. But the creeper's right behind you. There's your glasses, shadow. Mommy gonna be okay? Maybe? Okay, we'll see. Remember, there's like a rubber plug that's in there too, so you're fighting that for a little bit. Once it starts moving fairly free, then you can do it. So now we'll just drain. When it's done, we'll wipe everything off. We'll clean that up, and then we'll put in a new plug. So we do have a new plug to put in, as well as a new filter. We'll pull out the filter. That's going to be a big mess too, because they put it right over the top of this. So we'll put a bunch of rags here. She'll put a bunch of rags there. That way we won't have to worry about it. How you feeling? First time. She's a mechanic now. At least it's not sludge like some of those things you see on TikTok or Instagram where it just comes out as like a glob.
It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of oil in it.
You'll have more come out of this. So you want to come back over here. This will be the messy part. What we need to do is we're going to try to make as little mess as possible. These rags really don't pick up shit for oil and fuel, so we'll lay them across the top of that right underneath where that is. I've seen a lot of people put like plastic and stuff like that though, but I'm not real worried about it. Good, but we'll see. You're not going to need that.
It won't fit?
No, it won't fit. You'll drain it into the pan. You'll drain it into the same thing. I was wondering what you were doing. Yeah, so we have a big pan for when we do like other things, but we won't need that. This right here will catch most of it. It's not going to fit in there anyways, and there's going to be a lot that comes out. So see this bar right here?
Yeah.
What we want to do is, since that is right there, it's going to drip all over that bar. Let's put these rags over the top of it. It's not going to completely eliminate the oil, but it's going to eliminate the oil somewhat. These rags don't pick up nothing. That does have a couple threads. Now, hang on a second. That does have a couple threads, and you don't let it drop because that thing is going to go everywhere. That's full of oil. So if you let it drop, that oil is going to drop everywhere. Just let it drip. It's not going to go on your hand or anything like that. Do you want me to do the trick for you? Which hand are you going to use? That one? Okay.
So what he's doing is tying a cloth around my hand. That way it's a aviation mechanics trick. So when the oil drops down, it gets soaked up by this and doesn't go all the way down your sleeve.
So the reason I do this is, like she said, I don't want oil going down my arm or anything like that. And that's not the bad thing. It's jet fuel. God, that light.
You can pull it off in my head if you need to.
That's fine. The jet fuel will actually run down your arm and go into your armpit and down your side, and it hurts so bad that it's painful. It's like, okay, I need to go home and change or shower, but that right there is a trick to be able to keep that from happening. So I use it all the time. I haven't used it lately because I'm usually standing next to the engine rather than underneath it and it's dripping down. So anyways. Okay, now you're ready to go.
Oh, yay. Good grief, it's like never ending turns.
Yes, it's a very long thread.
Okay.
Okay, pull it out.
I'm trying. The bar is in the way.
And then just dump it in the bottom of that. There you go. So let it sit there. Go ahead and change out your gloves. We'll be right back, because that way we can kind of clean up everything and not have the old oil on it. So we'll be right back. Okay, so we've already cleaned it up. Our other shop dog is in here trying to crawl on her. So she'll go ahead and put that in right there. And then tighten it down. This is the one we bought it from AutoZone. It's just one they had in stock.
All right, so it's snug. It's not torqued to spec.
Yeah. So
just FYI.
Go ahead and do that.
Ow.
Now.
I got wet willied.
Now, what we do, we will go ahead and
Get that out of the way.
Yep, fill that up with oil.
Overdose.
Not You don't have to fill it up all the way because remember you still have to get it in there. You still have to maneuver it in there.
Yeah.
But fill it up quite a bit. As well as when you are done, make sure there's a little bit of oil.
You can lube up the O-ring.
Yeah, lube up the O-ring. It just goes on hand tight. It doesn't need to be cranked down. Now we will go ahead and thread this in. Just a step under. And then she'll be able to get in there. And you remember where it is, right? How you got it out?
Yeah. Ow.
Watch out for your head.
All right, I'm gonna take the camera. He's gonna go in there and hand crank it. With oil filters, you don't ever want to take
That's good.
a wrench and like waylay it down. It's not supposed to be that tight. You're supposed to just hand crank it tight where it's not going to fall off. That was fairly loose on the one that we took off originally.
So now that we have everything torqued down there to what it needs to, it's time to fill it up. Now this does take 5 quarts. What we'll do is fill up this one. This is an extra quart we bought. Then we'll put that, and then we'll see what we need left.
Now, the oil that we got is Valvoline Restore and Protect, and it's going to pretty much clean out the entire system as it goes through.
Now do not put in the whole thing. Obviously, that's 5. It only takes 5, so pour in a little bit. Now what you'll do is go ahead and set it off to the side. You'll grab a rag, which we have plenty of them here. And what you'll do is you'll check the dipstick and then just go little by little. Once it starts showing up on the dipstick, we'll go ahead and fill it up to the point where it says full. So.
All right. Normally how you do the dipstick, for those of you that are not mechanically inclined, you take this, wipe it. I'm going to put it back in. That way you get an accurate reading. You usually do this when the car's running or after you turn it off. Let it sit for a little bit. So we are not registering yet.
Okay.
There's hash marks right here. I don't know if you can see those, but there's marks right here. It needs to go in between these at least.
Sorry about the chewing. Our dog is chewing on a grenade. So, yes, he's chewing on a grenade.
We're halfway through the hash mark, so we are good.
Okay, so we'll leave it there. We'll fill it up after we run it. That way it's all good. And then we'll go from there. So we'll go ahead and open this up, run it again, and then we'll be right back. Okay, open the door, ran it for a couple minutes, close the door, and now Jill's gonna check it for the final time and fill it up the rest of the way. Because the next time we run it or drive it or whatever, we'll check the oil again. We'll do this the next couple times we drive it or run it. Actually, is we'll check the oil constantly until we know there's no leaks or anything like that. There is a lot of wetness under the bottom. We just don't know where it's coming from. We think it's from the oil filter that wasn't cranked down like at all, so it was kind of spraying whenever it could. We'll see. That's probably why they had an oil leak underneath. And we'll see if this fixes it. I've never seen one that loose, by the way. I've never seen one that loose. No, I've seen them tight where you had to put a screwdriver through it to get it off.
Yeah.
But
mechanics love that in the shop. All right, we are good. We are good. No
Okay.
more. No more oil.
okay,
We are like almost to the top of the hash mark.
that's fine.
So.
As long as it's in the hash marks, it's good. I'd rather have it at the top than at the bottom, because if something happens where this fills up the rest of the little cavities later on, it's not below that. So at least now I know where it's good.
Yeah.
Let you put that in.
If you get your cap, people.
Okay, how do you feel? Not too bad, is it?
It's like I went to high school and took shop class.
But with a cooler teacher. When you can argue with, and I can't complain, so, or else I'm in trouble. Good job. Okay, so we'll go ahead and close this portion up. Now we're gonna have to move everything we have over there to over here to be able to take off the fuel filter, because the fuel filter is under this side. Okay, so what Jill's gonna do is take off this panel. The panel is this one right here. It runs all the way from here and runs to probably midway through the chassis. What it's gonna do is you're gonna have 2 bolts on the inner portion of the panel. You're gonna have 2 nuts on the outer portion, and then just like a regular clip that you'll need a panel removal tool on the inner portion as well. So there's just 5 things holding that thing in. So Joe will go ahead and remove it.
Where's my tools?
As soon as, oh, am I the mechanic's helper now?
Yes.
Oh, jeez. Here.
Damn, okay.
There you go. By the way, that stud is like that long,
Yeah,
so it is
like,
super long. It wasn't that she wasn't cracking it. It literally is like super long.
It is this long, and this thing is warm to the touch.
Yeah, because it's took you forever, the friction of it. So you have another one. Yeah, see back there? So it is pretty long. There we go. Slide that out of the way. Hey, you want to leave? From Georgia, I bet.
Yeah.
Okay. So hang on a second.
So that little
What we're
cylinder
doing
thingy is the fuel filter.
Is we are changing out this. Now I'm going to do this portion because I don't want her to mess with the fuel. I will pull these 2 pieces off. It's basically just quick disconnects on either side. Unbolt it, put the new one back in. I'll let her put everything back in. I will take it apart though. So we'll be right back. Let me get some gloves on and I'll be right back. Okay. So I have a 10mm already. That's what I'll remove here. There's a clip on this side and a clip on this side. You basically push the clip in. There's a green button. I'll show you when I get a little bit better view on it. I think on this one you can see it. Right there. Let me see. Right there, there's a green button. Push it in and you'll be able to release it and pull this line out on either side and get this out. So let's go ahead and start with that. There is fuel that's going to be in there, so. You want me to go ahead and put the next one back in?
Yeah.
Let me put the next one back in because it is full of fuel down here. Go ahead and give it to me. Obviously, there's an arrow. It goes this way, so that way towards the engine, obviously. As well as the fact that it only goes one way. You pulled it out that way with this lip only going one way. Guess what? It's going to go in the same way. That one's clipped into. You hear it click. And now, all I have to do is put that bolt back in. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and clean this up, get her back here, and then have her put in all the panels and stuff like that. So, okay, we'll be right back. Okay, now that we have this on there, what we ended up doing before we start, what we ended up doing is starting the engine and making sure that didn't leak. Because the last thing I want to do is put this up and find out it leaks because one of those clips isn't all the way in or whatever, and I have to take all this back apart. So we went ahead and started it up, made sure that was leak free, and now we can put that
And it was.
panel back on.
Oh, 2 thumbs up.
Yes. Maybe.
You're gonna have to like hold me in place because the force I need to like move this, I'm moving myself. Because I don't weigh enough, people. Still spitting out grit.
That's good.
Okay.
Okay. Be right back. Now that you've got a little bit of taste of being a mechanic, as well as the
Literally.
dirt that was stuck underneath the car, how you like it?
Not too bad. It's not as bad as what people think. It honestly isn't.
It's not that bad.
It's just, you gotta have the time and the tools and the equipment and just figure it out.
In a nice air-conditioned garage,
That helps
that
too.
usually helps. Doing it out in the heat sucks ass. I really wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, it's not that bad. We don't usually do it in our Broncos or anything. We take it in there and get it serviced there, but
there's a difference. The rest of our cars, we can slide under without lifting it up and putting 4 jack stands underneath. That's a little bit safer.
but if you keep watching, this will be that way too, because this one's going to be lifted about this high.
Yeah.
Maybe give or take an inch or
So, like I said, I am 5'10", and you can see right where it hits me. So it's like right here. What do you think about that height? Drop a comment down below.
3-inch lift with maybe 32s, 33s maybe.
That's the size that the tires of
The
Diamond?
Broncos, my Bronco, yeah. We're basically going to take the tires off of my Bronco and put it on whatever rims we find that suit her vehicle after we get the widened fenders. We are going to put a wide body kit or a widened fenders on it.
Yeah,
front
the
and
only
back.
sucky thing that is about, the 2 ponies is the wheels got 2 different lug patterns. I can't just take Ben's old wheels and pop out the center caps and use those because the lug nut pattern is
Yeah,
different.
it's a 5 and a 6.
Yeah.
This is 5.
And that one's
that's
6.
a 6. Now, this is the very first time that she's done this, and I think she did pretty good. What's going to be...
And no leaks.
Yeah, no leaks.
No leaks.
And next week, we're going to be changing out everything for the transmission, including the transmission cooler, the filter,
Yeah.
gasket, oil,
You don't wanna
everything like
miss that
that.
one.
We do have some things on order, a pump on order, because it is a weird way of filling it up. It fills it up straight from the bottom rather than dumping it through the top. This is an automatic transmission. It's not your stick shift that actually has a fill hole, and you fill it up to that hole. You actually have to fill it up from the bottom with a special tool.
Now this pump isn't the one that has the 8 cc only at a time, is
No,
it?
we'll
Okay.
explain that later. We'll
Yeah,
explain
thank
that.
God.
I don't even want to get into that this video.
No.
Anyways,
If you want to find out what we're talking about, stay tuned for the next one.
if you want to watch her change all that stuff, because she's going to do majority of it. There are some things that I'm going to do, but most of it she's going to be doing herself because she wants to learn this stuff. I will help her. You ready for that?
Yeah, transmission's a little bit intimidating. There's a lot of moving parts. A lot can go wrong.
You're not taking the whole thing apart. You're just doing the
I know.
pan. But it'll give us an idea of what the vehicle's gone through if they've ever changed it. So, anyways, stay tuned. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss the next videos on this. Every Wednesday we put out a video for this vehicle. Our goal is to have this thing registered or inspected and possibly registered by mid next month. So we have a lot of things to do. Right now we're just doing preventive because we're waiting on
The interior.
interior, a second seat, a whole bunch of other stuff that we have on order that haven't been made yet. They are specially custom made for this vehicle. So stay tuned. It'll be fun. Say bye, mechanic.
Bye.
Bye.